Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrea Jackson.
I am Mitch English. This is Daily Flash. Woo. Hello, welcome to the show. Today's trends, tomorrow's talk. Yes.
Yes, it's so great to have you here. Also, we want to check in with our social media guy, Mr. James Alexander. Hey, James.
Come to me. No. All right, question of the day. Are you ready? If you could erase one inconvenience from the world, what would it be? I would say, my significant other asking me where, if she telling me she's hungry but won't agree to where I want to eat. But it is what it is. Matt, tell them where to go to leave a comment.
They can head to our website, dailyflashshow.com. Send us your notes directly, flash@dailyflashshow.com. And sweet baby James will respond to you there. Like, subscribe, share, do all that thing. Mine is socks. I just want my socks sorted and be able to find the right pair of socks every morning. That's the biggest problem.
I'm with you on that one.
All right.
Mine is stoplights, but I know we have to have stoplights.
Yeah, it's kind of a given.
No, we hit a weird grid. You and I live in the same area, and if you're in that wrong grid on the way here, it's a disaster.
It's also called being late.
I've been early.
James, if I can talk to James in the back room real quick. Hey, buddy. So you're talking about like what yours is. Do you know what a woman on death row orders for her last meal?
No.
Do you know?
A fine, sexy chocolate man is myself.
No, I don't care. Whatever you want. Whatever. I don't care.
And don't you love it when we say, I don't care, whatever you want, and you'll say, how about pizza? Not in the mood for pizza. But whatever you want.
Do you have an inconvenience?
Yes.
Your co-host?
No. I hate auto start so bad.
You've talked about this.
I don't understand what idiot decided that was a great idea to install in any car. It drives me crazy.
If you don't have a new car, it's one of these where you get to the stoplight, your car turns off because they're saying about emissions. And then they come out and say it doesn't do anything.
In fact, it does worse for your car because it constantly makes it restart. And then there's potentially more gas that's more fuel that's used or more energy that's used to restart your car every time you take off from a stoplight. And then, of course, in order for it to turn off completely, you have to press a button to turn it off. In my perfect world, A, it wouldn't even be in the car. B, you would have to press a button to turn it on, not to turn it off.
Exactly. Why would they have done? And I think, wasn't it there was laws or whatever, and then they said they're not going to do it anymore,
right?
They're not
going to do it anymore.
They listened to you,
yes.
at least.
Well, I think what was one of the first things President Trump did when he took office, it's like, no more auto start. We want full showers. Water pressure must return.
Plastic straws.
Yes, plastic straws. Let's go.
Toilets that actually flush wholeheartedly.
Oh, gosh. Those were the days. Yeah. All right, so a private detective has just released his list of the top 5 professions where people cheat the most, okay?
Cheat, as far as relationships go?
Yes,
cheat, okay.
Infidelity. He's someone who knows the common signs and red flags, but I found some of these on his list pretty interesting. Okay. He said the first one on his list, and this one surprised me, IT workers.
That's interesting. You know what? Probably because they have the technology to find out. Am I right?
He said IT pros are good at covering their digital tracks.
Okay.
They're tough to trace their moves. And they always have a built-in excuse if they have multiple phones.
That's true.
That's true.
Right?
Okay. All right. That makes complete sense to me. All right.
Next on his list, sales reps.
Okay, because they're out and about, I would imagine. Is that why?
And they travel a lot.
They travel and they could say, well, I was doing this. Okay.
Yeah, always have an excuse. They have to get away for the weekend.
Why was that on your credit card? Oh, I had a client at dinner.
Client.
Yeah.
Bingo. They got to go out of town. They've got a convention. And also that, sales reps are persuasive by nature. So even if you accuse them of possibly cheating, they would be, oh, no, it's in your mind.
There is an adult entertainment club that their receipt says steakhouse on it. instead of what it actually is.
Yes.
And it's a very popular place by the airport.
Really?
I've heard that restaurants, there's one restaurant where they, on their menu item, everything's called like red stapler or copy paper. Like a copy paper would be like a steak or whatever.
Yes.
And then that way when you get a receipt, it says on that.
$75 stapler. Wow, that's a good
How
stapler.
It's a
about
good
that?
stapler.
Yeah, top of the line. I buy them in bulk. It's okay. Flight attendants.
Well, that makes
Oh,
complete
yeah,
sense.
that's obvious.
I dated a flight attendant
Did
one
you
time,
really?
and always concerned concerned about that, and it was true. So yeah,
Lots of travel.
I was her Oklahoma connection apparently.
Oh, really? Is that so? OKC.
Yeah.
They do lots of traveling, obviously. They spend time in different cities and countries, and then great distances can often increase the temptation when it comes to relationships.
Pilots should be involved in that same
Yes,
group.
I
So
agree.
let's not just say flight attendants.
Yeah, anyone involved in air travel,
there you go.
possibly. Call center workers.
Now this I wouldn't figure out. Okay.
I didn't get this one at first, but he says it's not a profession you would suspect of falling into the category of most likely to cheat. However, call center workers tend to work in tight quarters, often under a lot of pressure, and the work stress can easily cross the line when it comes to relationships and them needing to blow off steam, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, everybody has the lunch at the same time, and you're in a cubicle, and you're right next to them. Totally can understand that. All
Right.
right, now that makes a little sense. All right.
And you bond over a common enemy or a common problem in the workplace, whether it's what you're selling or your telemarketing or call center, whatever it is.
Yeah, and listen, if your name is Steve and you live in India, yeah, you want to have an affair.
Yeah. My name is
Right.
Kramer.
It's built in, exactly. Rounding out the list, medical professionals.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, boys, nurses are on this list.
Mm-hmm.
High stress can play a role when it comes to hooking up at work. Medical pros are under a great deal of stress when it comes to saving lives.
This is the God complex, I think, that
Yes.
doctors kind of go with as well, and they kind of feel like they're in a different plane. And then you also hear how doctors treat nurses sometimes,
Yep.
and when it comes down to it, now listen, I don't want, if you're a doctor, I'm not going after you or anything, but nurses don't get the credit that they get because, they are really watching the patient longer than the doctor. Doctor says, this is what we're going to do, a plan, and then you actually they're kind of like the coach, I guess you can look at it, and the nurse is the one that actually out on the field doing it. So I can understand this as well. Plus, you have there's plenty of open rooms.
Plenty of
I've seen ER. I see how
We
that
watch
works.
ER.
Everybody on
watch
ER
ER.
got together.
And he was saying that in this particular case, it's a lot of doctors hooking up with nurses. Again, stress on the job. You're working crazy hours. Sometimes you're working overnight. You're away
That's
from your
true.
family for long stretches of time, right? Because I know with doctors and nurses' schedules, sometimes they'll do like four 4 days in a row. And they work, 12 hours a day.
Yeah,
or
I mean, it's a long
Yeah,
time.
or they do like 3 days of 30 hours.
And nurses, there's also an industry where they're called traveling nurses, where they go into a town and they just
Yes.
live there for 3 or 4 months. James, of course, has been to many hospitals, has seen all those.
Dated many nurses?
You dated your mental health professional. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, you broke it.
Well,
through
I
that
can
fourth
say,
piece.
look, I could definitely verify the nurses thing because I know a lot of nurses who cheat. We have viral videos of nurses
yeah, that's
caught
why he keeps
cheating
breaking his foot.
as well. I would say teachers too. Teachers cheat a lot.
Teachers. Why would you
No,
say teachers?
yeah.
Really? Why?
I would think the same thing along the lines of common enemy.
Teachers can party.
And
Yes.
they party a lot.
They party.
Party.
And
Yes.
when the
Yes.
weekend comes, I'm almost like, hey, I don't blame you. Get out and let it loose.
Yeah.
On the
Yeah.
weekend, you're dealing with our kids 5 days a week, and
And is it because they've got that long summer break? They work
That
kind
could
of
be
an
another
odd
thing.
schedule, maybe?
there's also, I think, because it's the working dynamic where that's what. Lord, I've been into teachers' lounges.
Yes.
It's interesting to hear the talk of what's going on.
Really?
There.
Yeah.
It's fun. And I'm like, wow. You hear all the scuttlebutt about what's going on. I could see that. I think it goes along the lines,
Teachers.
though, what you had said, just the common denominator that
Yes.
they all are facing. They don't get paid well. They have a lot of stress. They put a lot into their job and they care. And again, like you said, you're there. You get there at 8 o'clock. You're there to sometimes 4 o'clock in the
Yeah.
afternoon, and you want somebody that kind of understands that. I'm not condoning it. I would imagine that's the
Sure.
reason why.
The profession I'm surprised isn't on that big list, and I've never worked in one, but it's the restaurant industry, hospitality. Like I've heard of that's a
yes.
big.
None of them are
Yes.
married, so it's not really cheap.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
a good point.
They're just hooking up.
They're just hooking up.
yeah.
That's
But
a
that
great
is a good point, yeah.
No, that's true because that kind of comes with the territory. I feel like you're in that restaurant business.
It's interesting about that like the IT thing that you were talking about.
Yeah.
It's one of those industries you just don't think about, but it's also the same industry that they're so good at it they can track other people and
Yeah.
find out other information. So that kind of puts you on a higher plane.
Yeah.
Like if, like kind of looking out for yourself and that sort of thing. So I can understand that.
I was surprised. Like, I never thought about it, but the multiple phones, like, if you've got a couple burner phones, well, it's just for clients. I'm an IT guy, so my clients call this burner phone versus, you know what? I would have never thought that. But, and of course, they're good at covering up digital tracks. So
Indeed.
if they're going to websites they probably shouldn't go to, then they can delete their history in a certain way that the rest of us can't.
We would love to hear your thoughts. Flash@dailyflashshow.com is our email address. And of course, we're all over all the socials. Look for us. We got more of course, today's Trends, Tomorrow's Talk. We're going to be talking about women and prenups. We got some furry friends, and you got LLS.
Live Love Shopping is coming up, yes.
Before we go to break, though, here's today's Brain Flash question. What is the smallest U.S. state by area? We'll have the answer to that right after this. Stick around, see if you're right or wrong.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Let's see if you got today's Brain Flash question right. Here is the question. What is the smallest U.S. state by area?
Delaware. I say Delaware.
You said, I guessed Delaware too, but it is, in fact, Rhode Island.
Oh, okay.
All right, there you go. So you can impress your friends with that knowledge at your next holiday dinner. Well, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Andrea Jackson along with Mitch English. In today's world, prenups are not just for the ultra-wealthy. They are becoming a key tool for financially independent women. Here to tell us why women are saying yes to a prenup is Melia Russell with Business Insider. Melia, welcome.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you. So what is driving women to ask for prenups now?
Well, if you think about the quintessential stereotype of who gets a prenup, it's often the wealthy businessman and his much younger trophy wife,
Yes.
or the Nepo baby whose parents are pushing it on them. And the reality is neither of those pictures really match most couples entering into prenup agreements today. This is a tool that is more and more used to protect dual income households. Women are more likely than ever to be their household breadwinners. They own more homes, hold more college degrees, and run teams. So in that light, this financial instrument that was once seen as protecting a family fortune is now maybe she's saying, I want prenup too.
So how about stock options and investment accounts? How do they factor into prenup terms, especially for women? Because, like home ownership, we're kind of reaching some new territory here with stock portfolios.
Sure. So if a person works in a tech company, they might get paid in cash and also these slips of paper that say you own shares of this company. And if the company ever gets purchased or it goes public on the stock exchange, you can sell those slips of paper for untold riches. So women are more and men are more often asking their lawyers to include their stock options in their prenup agreements, knowing that this slip of paper might not be worth much today, but in the future could be a financial windfall.
Yeah, I know somebody who just recently went through a divorce, and the IRA account was up for grabs, and one party got it while the other party earned it, and it caused a huge blow up between the two. What about covering something unconventional, especially in this age of influencers like digital assets?
Right. So if it has financial, sentimental, or Instagrammable value, you can put it in a prenup.
Wow.
I talked to one couple, a social media influencer with 20,000 followers on Instagram. She recognizes that, she's a full-time influencer. Her social media brand is her livelihood. So she put in her prenup protection that account, that brand identity remains hers in the event of a divorce. Lawyers tell me they've seen everything from crypto, NFT art, rare collectibles, and even embryos that couples create before entering into a marriage.
Oh, yeah. I recall that story about Sofia Vergara, I think, that involved something like that,
Yes.
right? What
That's
about
right.
the stigma attached to asking for a prenup in 2025? It doesn't seem that unusual. Is that kind of gone by the wayside?
Funny, because I asked my husband for a prenup
Did
about
you?
7 years ago when we were engaged, and I remember he looked like I just kicked him in the stomach. He was so heartbroken that I thought, are we not going to make it? But I think that maybe pop culture is shifting away taboos when you have a Kardashian or a Sofia Vergara, talking about prenups publicly. But I think that people today are recognizing that a prenup is as basic as financial budgeting. It is just good hygiene.
Yeah, and what about advice when it comes to lawyers giving women about negotiating prenups? What did you find in your reporting? Any key specifics?
The best thing you can do is start early. Lawyers tell me that too many people push this off to the last minute, weeks or months before a wedding is the best time to start that process. And also, each partner should get their own lawyer. It's not mandatory in every state, but you really want a party who's going to have your best interests at mind and can make that negotiation a little smoother. Lastly, it's important to lay all your cards out on the table, do a full financial disclosure. If not, if assets come up later in the event of a divorce that you hadn't disclosed, it could actually void your prenup. So transparency is your best option.
Melia, great information. Thank you so much. We're going to share this interview on our website at dailyflashshow.com.
Fantastic. You know, I think even the discussion should happen when you start getting serious with somebody, you know, dating, because it's going to, if you wind up getting married, eventually it's going to happen. That discussion is going to come up if you want a prenup.
She made some great points too. And I think it's important for both parties to have a prenup, not just a man, not just the husband or the wife. I think both of them should come to the table and say, like she said, put it all out there. What do you have? What do you have? And a prenup just protects both of you from one another.
Okay.
In the event things go really south, really fast.
Listen, it's protection. It's also on the other side of like, hey, you know, it's something to think about when you're thinking about getting divorced. You know, you're like, I'm going to have to deal with this and that sort of thing. I had no problem whatsoever with signing a prenup. I was like, hey, we'll figure it out. No, we need it on paper, and so that's what we needed.
It's a legal partnership,
right?
100%. In a sense, it's a business relationship to some degree when you're looking at, you know, tax deductions and whatnot. I think about influencers and social media pages. If your other half is an administrator on your page, they have ownership of that page to some degree. So you kind of have to think those things out when it comes to your social media pages and your digital content.
Best advice I heard, and I'd like to share it with you now, is that you find out who you married when you divorce them.
That's great. Yes, you do.
Think about that, because you go, oh, we won't need a prenup. We'll work it out. If something bad, no. I'm telling you right now,
things can get ugly
it's
fast.
a totally different person.
Absolutely.
All right. We have more Flash. We want you to stay with us.
Yes.
This is our prenup. We'll be back right after this. And we love you just the way you are.
Just a verbal.
It's a verbal,
agreement,
yes.
Right? We don't need anything in writing.
There's our crew that makes this show great.
Hi, crew.
Hey, we got more Flash coming back right after this.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I am Matt Doolittle, and welcome to your furry friends for this week. And let's start in New Jersey. Said no one ever. I'm just kidding, Jersey. You know I love you. At New Jersey's Turtleback Zoo in West Orange, visitors can now watch veterinarians treat animals while they watch through a window. It provides a front row look at how the vets do x-rays, blood draws, and microchipping. The rare experience is only offered at a few select zoos across the country. You know it's gonna get really weird though when they have to treat the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle for their diabetes from all that pizza over the years. That's really gonna be just disappointing for all of us 90s kids. See, you get to see them do their blood work. That's just not gonna be fun. Come on, y'all got that joke. At the Syracuse Zoo, 2 young elephants have been named the barn's unofficial demolition crew. The pair help out staff by spreading fresh sand after each delivery. The staffers captured the adorable moment when the calves charged trunk first into the piles. The duo took turns tossing and smoothing the material into the enclosure. The playful scene is both beneficial for the animal team and a hit with visitors. The fun chore turns into a routine maintenance into a show-stopping moment for zookeepers and guests. I love it when you show them doing the natural, like, kind of play stuff, and it really puts a human element to it, which makes people connect to it, so I really love stories like that.
You know, and they look like they're just having fun.
Yeah.
You know, that's the whole cool part about it.
They're just kids.
They're just having fun playing in a dirt pile, you know?
I love that story.
Fun stuff there for sure. Loving that. Thank you there, Maddie. Appreciate that. NASA's sleek and quiet supersonic jet, which built to reach speeds about 925 miles per hour without producing a loud sonic boom, is now bringing speedy global trips one step closer. It's called the X-59 jet. It's going to be able to fly 55,000 feet in the air. That's more than twice as high, nearly twice as fast as conventional airlines. The supersonic flights, which have been banned in the U.S., U.S. and other countries for the past half century because they sound that they generate. You can hear it everywhere.
Yes.
The sonic boom. We get to hear it because of NASA's launching spaceships. A quieter sonic boom could pave the way for a jet to be used for commercial flights. Get this, a trip from New York to London could be made in just 3.5 hours by going supersonic.
We had this, it was called the Concorde.
Concorde for the longest
Yeah.
time, and they just retired it within the last, 25 years
so,
or so.
yeah.
So there was, talk about a big push. The Concorde, too, had a nose at the front that would turn down because it would go so fast, and that's how it provided lift.
And I think it made it from New York to Paris in like 2 hours or
It was
something.
a movie called
Yeah, it
Concorde,
was-
too. Know that?
Yes. Well, and then it didn't have a great ending because they had that horrible crash and right before they shut the whole program down. So, on that note, let's talk about astronauts.
All right.
Astronauts on future missions could have a brand new space food. A Finnish company called Solar Foods is behind a new powder that's made of microbes, air, and ammonia from urine.
What?
With SpaceX and other agencies eyeing missions
No.
to Mars in the future, sustaining astronauts on these long-distance voyages will be crucial. If you saw the movie The Martian with Matt Damon,
yeah.
you know what he used to grow a lot of his stuff while he was stranded on Mars.
And, well, how else are they going to do it, right? I mean, if there's nothing else out there...
You gotta recycle what you got.
You got it. That's not to say, and I know that there's a sector of people that believe this is a good thing. Your body is getting rid of all the bad stuff.
For a reason.
For a reason, yeah. And I think with this food, it will keep that bad stuff out, but put the right stuff in, and no pun intended, I guess, right
That was
stuff
good,
with
yeah.
NASA. I just made that up.
I just remember, did you ever watch Mr. Rogers as a kid?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Do you remember that episode he did? I think it was with the astronaut John Glenn, and he brought on the Tang that they were taking up with them
Okay,
on the
I don't
mission.
recall that.
And that was one of the reasons why Tang was invented, so that these astronauts
Yeah.
could actually have an orange drink to drink while they were up in space.
And it provided 9 essential vitamins and
Yeah.
minerals and that sort of thing.
And to this day, like that is still
Tang is-
a nugget in my mind.
And or Velcro,
good
I think, is
nugget.
another thing too.
Yeah, oh, Velcro, yeah.
It's actually not called Velcro; it's called Hook and Loop. If you look for it, because
is it?
Velcro is like a Kleenex name.
Oh,
Did
so
you
it's
know
a
that?
brand name. No,
yeah,
I didn't know
Velcro
that.
is a brand name.
Brand
So it's called Hook and Loop, and then they gave it the name Velcro. And
Okay.
A company did so that. We had Thanksgiving, a very enjoyable Thanksgiving,
Yes,
right?
yep.
And one of the biggest things at Thanksgiving, of course, is the dessert and pies, right? Having
Yes.
pies. So there's a website called YouGov, all right? And they basically just they do surveys and that sort of thing. And so they wanted to know what your favorite pie to eat on Thanksgiving is. And believe it or not, pumpkin is still number one.
Number one,
But
sure.
chocolate's coming up. Now, this is the survey they put out. It's about pies. What kind of chart, obviously, would you expect if...
A pie chart?
Not a bar pie, right? And so I saw this, I go, what? Now, by the way, YouGov is not a government thing. That's the
No,
first thing that
but
I saw.
they trick you.
They make you think it's
trick
government.
ya.
So when I first saw that, it's like, well, of course, government's not going to have any imagination and find out what your favorite pie is and do a bar graph. But going down here, pecan is number 2 at 15%. Apple is 20%. But you know what is making a big surgence?
What?
Chocolate pie. Is
Chocolate?
that the
Like a
younger
chocolate cream pie?
chocolate cream pie is becoming more and more popular
For
at Thanksgiving
Thanksgiving?
for the younger generation. Yeah, I'm pecan pie.
Interesting.
First pumpkin. Pumpkin's almost like should be on the plate with the turkey
I
for
have
me.
to have pumpkin pie, sweet potato pie, I love, but apple pie a la mode.
That's your fave?
That's my fave go-to.
I'm a pumpkin altogether.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi everyone, I'm Mitch English.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash. Today's trends, tomorrow's talk. Let's check in with our stations across the nation. Matt Doolittle, good morning.
Good morning. Yes, 219 affiliates across the country. You can head to our website, dailyflashshow.com. Click where to watch, and all of our friends on the Armed Forces Network around the world can catch us there as well. Today we are checking in with our friends at KSMI in Wichita, Kansas, which I did not know is the air capital of the world for its aircraft industry.
I didn't know that
Wichita,
either.
really?
It makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Cessna and Beechcraft are based out of there, so they
Did
do a lot of
not know
their
that.
companies are there.
Very flat area. Imagine, you can take off pretty easy. And it's the middle of the country,
Yes.
so if they need to deliver a plane, they can go anywhere, any direction you want. Think about that. All right, you've probably forgotten this name, maybe even forgotten who this person is, but back, I would say in the 2000s, early 2000s, when infomercials were just about everywhere. Remember ShamWow?
Yeah.
Vince?
I remember the name.
ShamWow and Slapchop. He did both of those.
You're right.
Yeah.
This is Vince from ShamWow. Can we take a shot? All right, this guy right here. This is Vince from ShamWow. And look pretty much like this. I guess he woke up in the morning with his hair that way. But the ShamWow, do you remember ShamWow? You
Yeah,
said?
vaguely.
Well, you go, whatever happened to old ShamWow?
happened?
Whatever happened to old Vince? Guess what? He's running for Congress in Texas.
No way.
Right now, he's using his nickname, Vince, by the way, as on official paperwork. And his real name actually is Vince Shalomi. And he actually is up against the longtime incumbent John Carter, who is in the 31st District in Texas running for Congress. So he says that he would make a perfect congressman because he knows the people and knows what he wants. And he did a lot of handshaking, that sort of thing. But he's also the guy back in 2009 that beat up a prostitute. I don't know if you remember that.
It was a cannibal hooker.
Don't remember that.
Say again?
It was a cannibal hooker.
Yes.
Is what he called it.
So he was the hooker was trying to eat him apparently.
Yep.
And so he beat that person up. And he also had the slap chop. Do you remember slap chop? You probably don't remember that, but you probably remember him going, look at my nuts. And he would.
No,
That was literally a line from. So he would show up on all these things, and so he actually did really, really well. I tried to find the exact amount of ShamWows that they sold. There's no actual total that I can actually find, official total, but they said that the first week he sold like 10,000 of them, and they sent them out to stores once the infomercial went out and sold like 50,000 of them in a week, which is pretty good. That's kind of got him going. He's 61 years old right now. He's running as a Republican. He's actually one of 9 Republicans going after that John Carter, who is the incumbent right now. So will he make it? Who knows? But he's still using the ShamWow as brand recognition. So because, like you said, you know ShamWow, you don't really remember Vince.
No.
That's where he's at now. I'm not sure. I need to know where he stands, and I would definitely make sure wherever
he needs to have the microphone
with
on.
him, because that's what he was known.
And
for.
the handhelds.
And the handhelds.
Yeah.
It's such a great era of those guys between Billy Mays, and what was the other guy? Anthony Sullivan, the British one. That was like Billy Mays' sidekick until he passed away. Like there was those three.
That guy.
He was the British guy. Yeah, they were partners.
Yeah,
right?
they were partners. They were both based out of Tampa.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then if you remember, Billy Mays hit his head on a flight. And then he died like 2 days later, but they found like he had a bump of cocaine or something.
He had a bunch of it.
He had a bump of turbulence. You remember that?
Did that explain his high energy?
I would
Orange Bowl
imagine so.
commercials?
If out of the two, though, I would have thought Vince was. Now that I think of it, yeah, he was. Billy Mays was always yelling at us.
And he was a hefty man.
Hefty guy.
Yeah.
Always a little red in the skin too, like just kind of a
The beard
tinge of
covered
red.
it. The beard covered it.
Yes, of course.
And you say, how do these infomercials? People still buy them, man.
Yep.
They
Infomercials
do,
work. Indeed.
yeah. Oh
We've
my
got more Flash coming up. What are we talking about on Life Love Shopping?
Oh, we are talking about all kinds of great stuff. We're going to show you how to make a candle if you've never done that before. This is the perfect
Great
time to
idea.
learn, because if you're thinking about gifts or housewarming or party gift,
Yes.
this is what you need to bring with
And
you.
we were talking about homemade gifts, how much that's we need to be doing more of it. I love that.
And
idea.
we've also got a rundown of the core 4. The core 4 things you need to get a solid night's sleep.
Well, we all need to definitely hear that as well.
Yeah.
You've probably been tossing and turning because you didn't get that sleep, wondering what is Taylor Swift's brother? Is he ever going to find love?
Is he single?
Is he single? And then there's a great show. It's called Is This On? We'll talk about that in
Is
Must
This
Watch.
Thing On?
Is
Movie.
This Thing On? There we go.
Yes.
All right, more Flash coming up.
Let's do some life flow shopping. If you live it, love it, or buy it, we talk about it. Consider this your life and style guide from A to Z. Let's talk about some Z's. A new study reveals the secret to a good night's sleep might be found in 4 key habits. Yes, 4. Researchers studied more than 39,000 participants over 31 days in what they called the Core 4 Challenge. The first of the Core 4, morning light. Morning light helps the body release cortisol, which signals the body that it's time to wake up. The brain produces melatonin in darkness, which tells the body to sleep. You need a good balance of both for solid rest. Okay, next on the Core 4, restricting eating is next on their list. Experts say best to finish dinner at least 3 hours before falling asleep. This allows the body to metabolize everything you've eaten. Excess food could be stored as energy and cause insomnia. Breath work was also part of the Core 4. Deep breathing exercises and meditation can help calm the body and lower the heart rate. This helps to release tension and send us straight into the Z's when our head hits that pillow. And exercise rounds out the Core 4. This is really important. Training zones are used in fitness to help rank the intensity of a workout. Your best training zone for optimal sleep is a Zone 2 workout. This is about 60 to 70% of your maximum heart rate. In Zone 2, you should be able to hold a light convo while working out. Experts say these Core 4 combined could help improve your sleep. Well, if sense to your home or you're looking for some great gift ideas, here's an easy how to make your own candles.
Is it even fall if you don't light a million candles? But they can get really pricey, especially the high-end looking ones you're going to find on the Pottery Barn website. Friends, you can make these yourself and it's super easy. Start by hot gluing the wick into the bottom, and I'm using like a little skewer to make sure it stays in the middle. You want to start by using like a double boiler and use an old pot. Get it from the thrift store, or you can get one of these little melting pots pretty inexpensively. I like to get the soy wax flakes from Amazon, but I've seen a ton of people actually cut up dollar store candles and melt those. You just want to melt down the wax and then pour it into your jars. And then after we've poured in the wax, we're just adding some scents. And I have all these adorable fall scents that I got from Amazon. And once it's cooled, you just cut the wick and you have a high-end looking fall candle that you made using a Dollar Tree candle holder.
One spice is making headlines as a natural antidepressant. Experts say saffron, which is found in popular foods like paella and in herbal teas, has shown promise when it comes to boosting moods. Saffron has also been shown to help with memory and focus. Researchers say after 12 weeks in one key study, their participants reported clarity and overall balance after adding saffron to their regular daily meals. Well, not all store-bought pumpkin pies are created equal. The crew at food blog site Chowhound tasted and ranked their favorites and not so favorites. Number 1 on their list, Marie Callender's Bake from Frozen gives you all the warm fuzzies when you smell the aroma coming from the oven. It seemed to persuade most of the taste testers into believing it was made from scratch. Stop and Shop, Mrs. Smith's, Shaw's Marketplace, and Bake Shop Bakery ranked 2 through 5, but coming in last, Walmart. According to this reviewer, the Great Value brand did not hold up when it came to unboxing their pumpkin pie, but it scored big when it came to side dishes and the main event. Well, if you're squirreling away cash for your holiday shopping, forget about saving your pennies, right? Okay, this kind of takes the cake here. It's official. The penny is no more. The Treasury struck the last 5 pennies, each bearing a rare Omega mark. They will not go into circulation, but instead they'll be auctioned off. The penny was first authorized in 1792. It was discontinued this year because of the increase in cost to produce it. Each penny cost 4 cents to make, but is only worth 1 cent. Experts say the auction value of the 5 final pennies could fetch anywhere between $2 and $5 million each.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Mitch English along with Andrea Jackson hanging out with you this morning. Hey, do you have your home prepped for this cold weather that's ahead? Well, make sure you're ready before it gets to you.
The time to prepare your home for winter is now. Meredith Sprecher from American Home Shield is here with tips to get you ready.
Start by replacing air filters, checking vents, and inspecting your heating system. If it's more than 10 to 15 years old or making strange noises, call in a pro. Do a quick inspection for drafts and seal windows and doors to keep your home warmer and save on heating costs. If you have a generator, check the oil, test the battery, and stock up on fuel before a storm hits. To celebrate the holidays safely, test your smoke and carbon monoxide detectors and plug your Christmas lights into a GFCI circuit. Even when you've done everything right, things can still break down. That's where American Home Shield can help. Our home warranties cover repair and replacement costs for major systems and appliances that wear out over time, like heating, plumbing, and electrical systems. If you need guidance, you can use the AHS app to video chat with an expert for real-time advice and help with minor fixes that can be solved right from home.
Learn more about protecting your home this winter at ahs.com.
For many Americans, the holidays bring financial pressure, guilt, and of course, growing debt. Here's wellness advisor Dr. Erica Rashour with some great financial advice.
The holidays may sparkle, but for millions of Americans, they also bring deep financial anxiety and emotional strain. Beyond Finance recently conducted a holiday spending survey that revealed a high cost of holiday cheer, including emotional spending, social pressure, and rising holiday debt. The result is a complex emotional and financial landscape that leaves many consumers stressed, overspent, and second-guessing their choices. The good news is that there are a few simple things people can do right now. First, talk early and have honest conversations. Second, pause before purchase. Third, give yourself permission to say no. Protect your peace and your wallet. And finally, remember that you define what matters most this holiday season. When values, not pressure, guide your spending, you're going to feel a whole lot more joy and a lot less guilt. To learn more, please visit beyondfinance.com's financial wellness section for free tools, guides, and resources, including a holiday spending tip sheet.
And as the temperatures fall and the holiday season gets underway, a few simple updates can make any home feel cozy, like a cozy haven. Here's what you need to know.
The holidays are here, the perfect time to wrap your home in comfort with BedSure. Lifestyle expert Emily Loftus shares how BedSure's Gentle Soft collection brings softness and warmth to your home this season.
As the weather cools, there's nothing better than coming home and sinking into something soft. That's why I love my BedSure favorites. The Gentle Soft blanket delivers everyday comfort that stays plush wash after wash. The ribbed heated blanket warms up fast and evenly, wrapping you in soft, wire-free comfort you can truly relax in. And for pure indulgence, the bubble faux fur blanket feels like being wrapped in a cloud, a luxurious treat for yourself and a thoughtful gift for anyone on your holiday list.
With sizes for nearly any bed or sofa, the Gentle Soft collection makes it easy to fill your home and theirs with warmth this holiday season.
The fabrics are carefully woven to stay soft, smooth, and lightweight, just right for layering, lounging, or curling up by the fire.
Spread warmth this season and search BedSure Gentle Soft Blanket on Amazon.com for the best holiday deals.
If you're thinking about updating your frames, today's eyewear is more innovative than ever. Here's consumer trends expert Mike Bako.
When you're busy and on the go, you need eyewear that can actually keep up with real life. Flexon uses a memory metal originally discovered by NASA, and that's what makes these frames so incredibly durable. Unlike regular metal glasses, you can bend, flex, even twist them, and they'll always return to their original shape. Flexon frames are engineered to handle whatever life throws at them, with many easy-to-wear shapes and colors. And the best part? They stay in adjustment. You can bend them and they pop right back. Stronger and more corrosion-resistant than standard metals, and super lightweight and comfortable. Flexon frames range from about $194 to $332 with color options like gold, gunmetal, coffee brown, and matte metal tones. Shapes include rectangular, round, square. There really is something for everyone. Flexon has been trusted for over 30 years with millions of frames sold and a reputation for unmatched resilience. For all the details, visit Flexon.com. Use the Find a Retailer tool to locate a store near you. And remember, you can use your unused vision benefits towards your new frames.
The giant LA Auto Show is gearing up. Auto expert Mike Caudell, he's there to give us a preview of the newest rides.
Well, thanks, guys. Welcome to the 2026 LA Auto Show. Really kicks off the new model year season and a lot of news here from the show floor. But before we get into the new vehicles, this is a heartfelt story right over my shoulder right here. It's called the Azul. We think about the Palisades fires here in Los Angeles where 6,000 homes perished. This vehicle was remaining there on the road. Volkswagen got news of this. They took it into one of their facilities. They got it all beautified back up. They showcased it here at the LA Auto Show to the original owner, taking the covers off. Just beautiful what Volkswagen was able to do. Over my shoulder, the ID Buzz, which is the modern version of this van. I love what they've done with this futuristic design. It's all electric, really a glimpse at the future. Now, more news here in the booth with Volkswagen, the GTI. and the Golf R being named Motor Trend Car of the Year. Sits right around $35,000. Now, this is the kind of vehicle that got me inspired to get into the auto industry from the beginning. The original had a manual gearbox. It was all performance oriented. And this is going to be a vehicle that sits right around $35,000. Now, if you want to get an SUV, Volkswagen showing off the Tiguan as well. Really going for an upscale luxury look, bold front end on this vehicle, LED lights across the rear. You're gonna get all the great tech on the inside, from Apple CarPlay to Android Auto, and that beautiful brown baseball glove leather. I love the tech with this vehicle. Now, had a chance to take a look at the Subaru Outback. They've got two different versions here at the show. This one's that concrete pounding freeway driving version, but it's the off-road one that I really, really like. This is the Wilderness package right here. 9.5 inches of ground clearance, 2.4 liter boxer motor under the hood. Love that front grille, lots of cargo space. And by the way, what are consumers looking for? They are looking for safety. 16 years running as an IIHS top safety pick. Now, you want to go up in size? Think about this one. This is the Nissan Rogue, and it gets a little bit of electrification. This is the plug-in hybrid electric version, 38 miles on a charge, all new design, and it's got the new North American charging standard. So you're going to be able to charge it a lot faster. Check out the Nissan Pathfinder as well for the new model year. A whole series of new colors. You're going to get a new front end, a new rear end design on there as well. I love that Pathfinder logo on the back of this vehicle. And again, going for upscale luxury with a ton of great tech features as well. The Ford Mustang Immersive Experience. Experience all things Ford GTD. Ford Mustang going all the way back to 1964. And I want to close it out with this one right here, you guys. This is the coolest thing. If you can't afford a car, maybe you can afford the belt buckle. This is actually the truckle from Ford Motor Company, 1975, when the Ford F-150 first came to market. You can actually hide your key fob behind the belt buckle. So many things happening here at the LA Auto Show. For now, tossing it back to you.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to Daily Flash.
Okay, Will Arnett stars as a man facing a midlife crisis when he finds new purpose thanks to the New York comedy scene. This is today's must-watch movie. Is this thing on?
$15 cover.
To get a drink?
Hey.
Yeah. How come she didn't have to pay $15?
She signed up for the open mic.
Look at me. I kind of look like the guy who tells you the Ferris wheel doesn't work at the amusement park.
I gotta date better men. My ex wouldn't let me touch his Magic the Gathering cards.
I'm gonna shake it up tonight. So let's put your hands together for Alex Novak.
I think I'm getting a divorce. What tipped me off was that I'm living in an apartment on my own, and my wife and kids don't live there. That was probably the biggest clue.
What is the problem?
I don't know, it's complicated.
You don't have to tell me that.
I guess we just slowly grew away from each other.
You two have always been very different.
And you and Dad are twins?
Your father is an immigrant to this country.
I know that.
And I've always been a woman who wants the taste of the exotic.
Jesus, Mom.
Why are you doing stand-up?
Getting a divorce.
You cheated. No. You didn't cheat and you get a divorce? Oh, that's some white guy.
I've been doing stand-up. Is it like a hobby? Well, I'm not about to quit my job and go on tour. It's just it's something I look forward to.
Hey, listen, do you mind if I dropped it off here for a couple hours?
Don't ambush me like this in front of the boys. You suck.
You suck.
Give it up for me. I'm doing great. I'm paying rent on apartment and mortgage for a house that I don't even live in anymore.
So I'm the only one who doesn't know about this?
I have goals this year I want to achieve. Do you have goals, Dad?
Oh, of course I do.
You knew I was struggling. You left me alone.
I left you alone? You checked out?
I was unhappy in our marriage. I wasn't unhappy with our marriage. Man, I wish I had a punchline.
It plays a good part. Is this thing on? Great name for it, but it plays a good part. Most comedians, that troubling life that they have is what drives them, and that's what makes them funny. That's
based on a true story.
Oh, it is.
I think it's going to do great.
Good.
I love Will Arnett.
We do. Y'all take care. See you when we look at you.